program. It's lifelong learning and recovery. Okay. Then we have 2 envelopes here to present to you. One envelope is the important thing that says to you that you completed the program. The other one is the web page so that you can get hold of other alumni that are participating on the web page of the Salvation Army. Then I'd like to give you your white robe tonight.
Looks good.
Are you recording it? You put on YouTube like you did Sharon?
And why don't you come over here so I can get a picture with this?
You put on YouTube like you did mine? Yeah.
Certificate says successful completion of the 6-month rehabilitation program, which this certificate of completion for Joseph B. Dixon. This is the message we have heard from him and declares to you, God is light, in him there is no darkness. And I've signed this on behalf of Maynard this week. It was my pleasure to do that, having gotten to know you both here and at the Seattle Temple Corps, so it's been my pleasure to be part of your life in both places. I'd like to present this to you and have a picture taken so you can keep it. And remember that my picture keeps the rats away. Who would you like to pin on this pin for you? But first of all, you have to tell us what it means. Or have them help you tell you.
ID. I don't drink.
I don't do drugs. I don't do stupid things we used to do.
My sponsor, Dave Sargent.
Yeah.
Thank you for a good job. Okay. Right in his nose is where he'd like to have it.
I knew it.
Oh.
This is the hardest part. Good job, buddy.
Alright, so. Alright. What got me here? I started getting high at a young age just to have fun. As the years went on, my use went from smoking weed and alcohol to LSD, PCP, meth, and ecstasy. All of which started the downward spiral of drug use, crime, and eventually incarceration, as well as the loss of many friends in the process, which I dealt with using more and more. Then I found opiates and my life completely spiraled out of control and became completely unmanageable. Before I knew it, drugs and alcohol had taken over my life. It took everything from me, my job, my home, my kids, and my freedom. Actually, I gave it all away.
Love
I
you.
made it a month out of prison and was back using again. Nothing changed. I continued my destructive ways after finding out my children's mother put a no contact order on me and didn't want me to be around or see my children. Instead of doing what the courts asked of me, I completely gave up and started using drugs at an alarming rate and didn't care if I went back to prison or died. I checked myself into this program last year, not because I wanted to, but for DOC. I wanted it at first, but soon gave up and just went through the motions. I didn't go to meetings or meet up with a sponsor. Instead, I faked my way through the program and eventually was using while I was here. I soon got kicked out after a few months after I completed for drug use, and not 2 hours after I left, I was getting high again. By the grace of God and the help of my friends' parents, which I am truly grateful for, I made it back up these steps 4 months later, off of paper, and ready to give this thing my all. The main thing that kept me here was my relationship with God. Not the things I gained or the prayers he answered, but the things he took away. He took my anger, my bad attitude, and how I treat people, just to name a few. A big one for me was acceptance and patience. I realized that I didn't have to like everything here, which was pretty much impossible, but with God's help and willingness on my part, I could accept that this is where I was supposed to be, or I fight it the whole way and end up leaving and continue to kill myself as well as hurting my loved ones. My sponsor has a huge role in making strides in my recovery, taking me through the steps and the book in a way I can understand it, and challenging me each step of the way was something that I needed. To be able to put things down on paper and see my faults in it all was such a relief. I am now a believer in the 12 steps of AA. I believe God put him in my life, and I am truly grateful for that. Also, not forgetting where I came from and the destruction which was my life was a daily reminder of why I stayed here. This program is about the fellowship. It is being around each other, holding each other accountable, and forming friendships with like-minded people, which helped me get through the days that I really didn't want to be here. The biggest and most important thing is my relationship with God. Through my faith, I have been able to set aside my anger and resentments that have been a burden throughout my entire life. I've been able to see the good in people when getting to know them rather than seeking weaknesses that I can exploit. I'm not perfect, nor will I ever be, but having seen brief glimpses of God's will for my life, I now have the drive to strive for the destination he has planned for me. I now comprehend the meaning behind all the steps individually and how, when combined, they work together hand in hand. In the past, I found myself just going through the motions without any desire to learn exactly how each of these steps play a role in my life. I now identify with the AA program and see how it has direct influence on my perception of the disease of addiction. I can now regain trust and respect for my family. As we sink down into the troublesome lifestyle of crime and addiction, we often do a considerable amount of damage to our family. We tend to think we are only harming ourselves, but the truth is that this is truly a family disease. I have a strong desire to have a positive relationship with my loved ones, and I don't want to hurt them any longer. I can now follow through with the promises I make, which enables a positive environment to overcome the hardships of the past. Now that I have the knowledge to accept responsibility for what I've done, I can begin to make amends to repair a lot of pain I've inflicted. I feel like a new man that is looking at the world in an entirely new way. For all the new men, this place has saved many lives, many of them sitting in this room, and you might not feel like this is the place for you. All I'm asking is that you stick it out and give this place a chance, because if you're anything like me, what you were doing wasn't working. First off, I'd like to thank God. Without him, this would not be possible. I would like to thank Tom and Andy for all the things you guys do for us on a daily basis. Diana, I would like to give you a special thanks for dealing with my antics on a daily basis and for your life advice, which helped me more than you know. It's like I had counseling on a daily basis, which I definitely needed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to thank my sponsor for taking me through the steps and pushing me to become a better person. I would also like to thank all of you for the fellowship that we have here. Thank you all. And my Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Amen.
Nailed it, bud.
Joe, we have a special promise from God's word for you. Psalm 16:11 says, "You will show me the way of life. Grant me the joy of your presence and the pleasure of living with you forever." We do this over at house, right?
Oh boy.
My
Awkward.
second time doing this, folks. Give me a little.
Doing great.
All right. I'd like to invite the alumni to come and join us. Joe here on the front.
Look, it's Richard Howard.